Great evening, everyone. Great evening. I know it's been a while since I've been on. I'll give you guys a few minutes to come on in. It's Let's Talk with Tara live on this Monday, July 1st. I'm excited. I know it's been a while since I've done a Monday Night Live. My goal is to do it at least twice a month. But sometimes, you know, the saying that I don't want to say young people make myself sound old, but what the new saying is, life starts lifing. Well, life's been lifing, been very busy, a good busy, but it's been very busy. But tonight, it prompted me to come on tonight because I've had these questions that people asked, and I just really wanted to address them on tonight. I really wanted to address them on tonight. Let me see if I can redo this 1 second. Wow, yes, that works great. 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 So if you're just coming in, make sure you like and share and like. I know it's a Monday evening. It's nice outside. Well, it's hot. And a lot of people are getting ready and doing things. And I feel like I got a piece of hair sticking up. But listen, this is what I want to talk to you about tonight. This is we here on Let's Talk Tara Live. We talk about everything: life, lives, love, relationships, finances, spiritual growth, um, mental health, any, just about any question. Because if I don't have the answer, my goal is to get the answer for you. So the question tonight that I want to address, one of the questions, I actually have two, and they kind of coincide with each other. What does the issues from your past have to do with the issues of today? What does the issues from your past have to do with the issues from today? Well, when the person asked me that question, because a lot of you knows I know that I'm a counseling coach, life coach. Um, I provide services, mental health services. I'm a mental health certified board mental health coach, consultant. I do a lot of different things, but my uh, I guess the summation of what I do is I help people deal with their emotions, um, mental irregularities, and I help them become the person that they want to be and who God has created them to be. So that's kind of what I do in my practice, that I love. It's really not my practice. It's like, it's just a part of what I do. So my question, the first question tonight, what does, I think I need to probably put it up. Let me put the question up. What does the issues, because this is a question, issues from my past have to do with my issues today? That's the first question. So let's just dive in and let's answer that question. What What does those issues have to do? Well, you are a summation of your beliefs, your culture, your experiences, um, your past hurts, your past successes. You are a summation of that. So your past has everything to do with the issues that you face today. Whether those issues from the past have been addressed and healed and dealt with, or they have not. But your past directly impacts your today. It directly impacts your today. So often, a lot of people will have come to believe that, well, why dig up the past? Let uh, uh, dead dogs lie. That's one of the old terms. Let dead dogs lie. If it's a dead dog, leave it alone. Let sleeping dogs alone. Leave it alone. And sometimes it does need to be left alone. With all things being equal. But if those things from your past hurts, events, experiences keep showing up in your future, in your present, then you need to deal with them, because if you don't deal with your past, they will deal with your present and your future. If you don't deal with those past issues, emotional hurts, heartaches, pains, rejections, abandonment issues, um, they will deal with you. they, there is no, they will deal with you, and they will not deal kindly with you. If you find yourself repeating the same cycles over and over and over again, if you're repeating those cycles over again, continually repeating those cycles, 9 times out of 10, it's because it began from a circumstance, an experience, a hurt, something from the past that matriculated through your life, and it was never dealt with. What happened is kind of like it gets swept up on the rug. Swept up on the rug. You know how sometimes in life things happen to us and they hurt us deeply. We get offended by them. There's a void that happens because of something that happens from the past, whether it was a person, place, or thing. And what happens is, after a while, we start sweeping those emotions up under the rug. We sweep them up under the rug. And what happens, if you keep sweeping dirt up under a rug, eventually you have a pile of dirt. And because there's a pile of dirt, and you're the one that's sweeping it, most of the time you don't even recognize that it's a pile, that it's a pile of dirt, because you're so used to sweeping it. You just sweep it and you don't even look at it. You just sweep it away. You're not even paying attention. Well, everyone else sees that pile of dirt. They see those past issues from the past that you keep sweeping away. They see it. They see how they are affecting your personal life, your finances, your intimate life, your friendships. It's how it's affecting your spiritual life, how it's affecting your personal growth and your career growth. Everyone else sees it, but because you've been sweeping it up under the dirt, up under the mat, and creating the pile becomes oblivious to you. You don't see it, and eventually that pile that of emotional hurt and pain and distress that you've been sweeping away, not dealing with, ignoring, you trip on it and you fall. you trip on that and you fall. You bump your head and you break your leg. And your life starts crumbling down. And guess what? Then you have to deal with it. So, just to reiterate, if your past directly impacts your today and your tomorrow, let me share with you, and if you can, I like to illustrate. So your past is like a prison. And when I say your past, the past that you have not dealt with, that has caused you pain, discomfort, dis-ease, emotional distress, those things, it creates a prison for you. And once you get locked behind that prison door, once you get locked behind that prison door from your past, the future is on the other side of the door. But because you're locked in the past, and some of you guys are not locked in it, what happens? The doors just close. The future's on the other side, but the doors just close. And because you've been in that pain, that cycle from the past so long, you're afraid to open the door and walk out to the future because you're used to the pain from the past. So to answer this question, and I kind of want to be thorough, but I don't want to be on too long. Your past issues affect your today. Just because you say, hey, let me just add this piece onto it, because this is another piece that I see with my clients. Just because you identify the problem of your past, if you don't deal with it, it's not going away. Just because you can say, oh, okay, I identified it. Okay, great. Now you need to heal from it. You know what it was, or you know what it is. Now you have to heal from it so you can create new patterns, a new mindset based on your new information so that you can heal properly. Because what happens is a lot of people, they identify the problems, the issues in the past, but they don't change their mindset. They never heal from them, and they don't change their mindset related to how that hurt, that disappointment, that rejection, it affected them, and how it matriculated through life, and how it's affected them today and will continue to affect them tomorrow. Identification is not enough. Then you have to, what are you going to do with it? Because so many people sit in, well, I know my mom hurt me, my dad hurt me, I had a horrible childhood. I was riddled with disappointment and shame, and I'm not negating all of those things. But if you stay trapped there, behind those prison doors of the hurt and shame and pain and guilt and disappointment from your past, you will never get to your future. You always live in your past. So even your today issues are past issues. The issues that are 20 years later, 30 years later, 40 years later, they're still past issues that you never dealt with. And if you don't deal with them, they continue to deal with you. So yes, identify and heal and deal with those issues so you can create a new mindset regarding how those issues affected you then, so they still won't affect you today. Because if you don't change your mindset about it, what I call mind management, if you don't change your mindset, you're still going to be trapped in the past, looking at the future, never obtaining the future, the life, the lifestyle, the goals that you want, because you're still trapped in the past. You cannot go to the future still trapped in the past, trapped in those past cycles, destructive cycles and mindsets. You cannot, it will not happen. There is no staples, easy button to push to make it change. You have to do the work to change your mindset, so you have a different belief system. You stop reacting and you start responding to things that are difficult, that are hurtful. And let me share this. If you had a lot of hurt in your past, and once you get healed, those triggers from the past, they're not triggers anymore. You don't hurt anymore. You stop hurting. You stop being disappointed, because you create, one, you heal from it. Two, you create a totally different mindset, or your perspective on how those things have affected you in the past and how you want them to affect you in your present and your future. You have to do the work. You have to deal with those issues from the past, because I see it too often. I see this every day, that great people are trapped in the mindsets and the behaviors based on the past hurts, based on the past infractions, based on those past disappointments. Yeah. Yes. So I want to kind of keep moving on, because I said I wasn't going to be on long, 20 minutes, and I'm already at 16 minutes. Okay. The next question, I'm going to put it in the chat. So make sure you guys, I'm going to and I'm just going to put these questions in how they send them to me. The cycles. How did it break the cycles that kept me repeating the same behaviors in different places with different faces? Now, I kind of added that part on. Different places and different faces. I added that on. So how do you break the cycles? Now, a lot of you guys, if you don't know, I have a whole book on breaking unwanted cycles, how to live a more fulfilling life. And I'm actually going to be facilitating a 6-week workshops that are in person and online, interactive workshops regarding how to break unwanted cycles that you keep repeating. There's a 2-part to this. Some of the cycles you keep repeating are because from the hurts from the past. You haven't dealt with the hurts from the past. You've just identified them. But you keep doing the same. You keep reacting instead of responding. So because pain causes you to react. Pain, shame, disappointment, it causes you to react in negative and hurtful situations. And where there's pain, you react. Let me give you, when you hit your toe, you react by grabbing it, you cry, you holler, you squeeze it, you hop, you react. So it's the same thing emotionally. What happens is you react to certain circumstances in your life, and and as you grow and you develop and you never deal with them, you keep reacting. So the more somebody does something that brought up those negative feelings or hurt or shame, pain, guilt, whatever it was, embarrassment, abandonment, what the first thing that you do is you react instead of responding. Responding causes new cycles to form that are positive and not negative. How do you break them? First, you have to identify what cycles are you in. Are you creating the same cycles on your job, in your health, with your friends, in your intimate relationships, in your spiritual relationships, do you find yourself recreating the same cycles with different places and different faces? If that's so, you're the common denominator, meaning you're reactive, and you need to deal with some things from the past that caused that reaction, caused that hurt, that pain, or cause you to react in such a way that's negative, that's not producing a response that's a wanted response from you. Let me say that. That's not producing a wanted response from you. And then there's the second part of how do you break these cycles that you keep repeating, is sometimes those cycles are generational. And I'm going to give you an example. You can see that and I'm just saying, and this could be male or female, you had a baby when you were a teenager. Your parent had a baby when you were a teenager. Their parent had a baby when they're a teenager. Those are cycles. Those are cycles. And then your child has a parent. It becomes a parent when they're teenagers. Those are cycles. And I use the example. You're an alcoholic. Your daddy was an alcoholic, or your mama was an alcoholic. Your grandfather was an alcoholic. Their grandfather was an alcoholic. Those are cycles. Those are unwanted cycles in your life. Unwanted cycles. You have high blood pressure. Your mama had high blood pressure. Your grandmother had high blood pressure. Those are cycles. Those are cycles. You have to do something different to get something different. We know, you guys, I know you've heard that 1,000 times. To get something different, you have to do something different. If you continually do the same thing, you're never going to break a cycle. The first thing you have to do is stop, what I call stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Stop and look around. What are the cycles that you're recreating? Drop everything that you're doing. Drop every mindset, every belief that's producing that cycle to continue. You have to drop it, and then you have to roll. They tell you when you're on fire, you stop, drop, and you roll, and then you have to roll. That means this means you have to do something purposefully to gain some new information so that you can create a new path, a new cycle that you want for your life. And you have to be willing to do the work, because when you roll, you're just not moving your body. You're thinking. You're rolling to move into a new place. And guess what? That takes effort. That takes change. That takes being intentional. And it takes a lot of work. And we live in a day and age where nobody wants to do the work. They want to take a quick pill. They want to go to one session. They want to fix me up and think it's okay. Or they do it one time. And I'm good. No, you're not good. You're not good. You're not good until you can live in a new lifestyle for a continued period of time. And when the test comes, because it's coming, when someone comes to poke at that old wound and you don't react, but you respond, then you know that, okay, I'm healed now. It's not affecting me the same way that it affected me before. That's when you start, hey, I've actually created a new cycle. You have to do something to get something different. So many people change jobs, change friends, but they keep repeating the same cycles. You're going to keep repeating the same cycles. It's not you. It's not them, it's you. And I'm not telling you something that I lived this. I had to realize I had a lot of unwanted cycles in my life from my perceptions, from things that emotionally uh, caused some infractions in my belief system. I had to do the work. When I was married, it was always my ex-husband's fault. Now, mind you, he's a little narcissist. He was the typical narcissist, but his actions had nothing to do with mine, and I had to stop blaming him for everything that he did. I couldn't control him. I only control me. He taught me, and I probably need to send him a card. I probably need to send him a card, because even for years after we were not together, well, I won't say years, because I kind of got it right after, but it was a little while after we were not together that, I would share my story or whatever, some things he did, and that doesn't matter, because that's all water under the bridge. But I learned from that relationship how to stop pointing the finger at, oh, if he would have did this, and if he would have did that, if he was a better person, if he was a better husband, if he wasn't, none of that matters. None of that stuff matters. What matters is my response, not my reaction, but my response. What am I going to do with it? What was I going to do with it? What was I going to do differently? Because you cannot change people. You can only change you. And he taught me how to sit with myself. Yeah, he taught me that. He taught me, because I was forced to sit with Tara and my ugliness, because I had a lot of ugliness. I was forced to sit with me and deal with me and my issues, because his issues was not my issues. And I'm not sharing this to downgrade him. I'm just sharing this because a lot of times we want to blame the ex-husbands, the boyfriends, the parents, the cousins, the job, all these people, when baby, it's you. It's you. Because every day, and this is what I learned, every day that you wake up, you have the ability to make the power to make a choice. You have that, to make a choice. Not a choice to blame somebody, a choice to be better for yourself, to be accountable for your own self. Not point the finger, because they're saying when you point the finger, you got 4 fingers pointing back at you. You do. Don't point. If you're going to point at yourself. Deal with your issues so that your issues can stop dealing with you. I got 2 minutes, you guys. Less than 2 minutes on, because I said I wasn't going to be on here, but 20 minutes, but I did get started a little bit late. So if you have any questions, please, please, please DM me, because I really want to be able to address the questions that so many people have that they don't have anyone to answer for them. Now, I do have a segment that's coming up, and these are some spiritual questions. And I really, I don't want to go live on Facebook for it, so I may just go live on YouTube and just post it, some of the segments, because these are some very sensitive questions, very personal questions that I know a lot of people are dealing with. And I just want to make sure I answer those questions in a safe, in a more sensitive, control space. Let me say that. Not that I have the person's name up, but I don't want to. Certain things you can't put on, you can, but I choose not to address on social media. So, but I do want to address them. So you guys, I thank you for tuning in. I'm 12 seconds over. I thank you for tuning in. I am Dr. Tara T. Stallings. This is Let's Talk with Tara Live Q&A. Remember, if you have any questions, I'm going to try to be on here every first and third Monday of the month. First and third Monday at 8 o'clock. If you have any questions, DM me, send them on my post, and I will surely answer your questions. Have a great night and a happy 4th on Thursday. Good night, guys.